Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. I say shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there, because the only ones that will be delivered are the elect, starting with the 144,000. All 144,000, 12,000 out of each tribe shall be delivered, and the elect, the rest of the elect, which includes men, women, and children, will be delivered as well. You have men that are not teachers, or they don't go out on the highways and the byways and teach, but they're helpers. In my opinion, and it makes all the sense in the world, that Simon, the old man, that the Lord said through the angel, you got to go to that, what is that, Luke 2, if I'm not mistaken. I went through it the other day. He wasn't going to die until he saw the Messiah as a baby. I believe he's one of the elect. He was a chosen man to do that. He was placed on this earth to live his whole life as an Israelite. And when you hit a certain age, you think about all people that hit, 70s, 80s, and so forth. They think about, they're going to die soon. Could be 2 years, could be 10 years, So this man Simon knew he was going to die, but he was told through the Spirit that he's going to see the Messiah. And then he said, okay, I saw the Messiah, I'm ready to go. Then he went. If it's time for you to go, you go. Inside joke. So I believe he's one of the elect. He could be one of the men that are teachers now, whatever the case may be. Joseph of Arimathea, who he was a well-to-do, you can say a rich Israelite that had a sepulcher, and he when the Lord was crucified and died, he gave up his sepulcher to put our Lord in there, which is a fulfillment of prophecy. Somebody wants to put the precept in the New Testament and the actual prophecy, because that's a fulfillment of prophecy, which I'm not going to go to. But I'm going to entitle this video, Abstain from All Appearance of Evil. And part of the title is a question. If you break the law, is that evil? If you appear to break the law openly, you got a brother that has his wife, and you always with that woman, that's not your wife. That's an appearance. Even you might not do nothing. Now people are gonna be thinking, hey, are they doing something? The husband's gonna get jealous. That's why it says in the Apocrypha, sit not at her with the wine. That's in the Apocrypha. You might have not did nothing. You might not have no idea. You just sitting down and drinking wine with the woman, and it's proven that y'all never did nothing. Here her husband's doing what he got to do, and here you are drinking wine with the woman. But you ain't committed you couldn't put the guy to death, or both of them to death, because they didn't commit the act of adultery. But what is it? It's an appearance of evil. When you break the law, it's evil. That's why you get put to death ultimately for any law. There's laws that you be put to death immediately. Break the Sabbath, you put to death. Commit adultery, you put to death. Kill another man, put to death. But there's certain laws that you break that you're not put to death, but you have to sacrifice a bullock or turtle dove, whatever. But ultimately, you're going to get put, sin leads to death. So my question is the appearance of evil or the appearance of breaking the law, is that evil? The scriptures speak about sin leads to death. So it said, abstain from all appearance of evil. Openly break the laws, that's evil. If it looks like you're breaking the law, that could be evil as well. Like I said, you're sitting down with a woman. Like, hey, I've been at back in the past, I've been at brothers' houses when their woman was there, and he wasn't there, and just come in and wait. And I kind of feel uncomfortable about doing that, because the guy comes in, he's like, what's going on? He's been here for an hour, and y'all didn't do nothing, but it's the appearance of evil, right? And you thinking, what am I getting at? I'm not getting at I'm not telling you that there's an adultery or it looks like an adultery, but yeah, there's a couple of women that I came to the house thinking he was there, and the woman, no, come sit down, or you want some water or whatever, and a little chit chat or whatever. See, that could lead to something. That's on the ultimately, that's you're playing with fire. Yeah, but I ain't doing nothing. There's a reason why that statement was put in the Apocrypha in Ecclesiasticus. I'm not going to go to it. Somebody put it up. Now, in the book of Revelation, chapter 1, 2, 3, chapter 2 and 3, it goes into the 7 churches and the good that they're doing and the things that they're going off on. And each church had a different thing. And the Most High said, if you don't straighten it out, I'm going to remove your candle. I'm going to fight with you. Then it mentions the church in Nicolations, which is wicked. The Jezebel, which it wasn't the actual woman Jezebel. Let's not go back to the Old Testament. That was during the time of, that was Elijah, Jehu, and so forth, during that time period. That's not that Jezebel in Revelation chapter. It's either chapter 2 or 3. I think it's chapter 2. That's not the same Jezebel in the Old Testament. That the Jezebel in the Revelation is actually a spirit. A spirit of lust, adultery, wickedness. So the Great Spirit said, anyone that I'm gonna put Jezebel in the bed, anybody lies with her, you're gonna be punished for it. It didn't mean that. I should go to the commentary just to see what it says. It represents us. If you're a Jake that leaves and become Islamic, you went to bed with Jezebel. You got these Jakes out there saying, you got to stop. You got to come back to Jesus. You can't be an Israelite. You're going to burn in hell. You know, all these new videos, which I believe Jays are putting them people up to say that, to kind of embarrass us about that. So they're sleeping with Jezebel. You got Christians. You got any of these Jakes that follow vocab, they're sleeping with Jezebel. So Jezebel is a spirit. And we're at the point now, we're at the end of this thing. If you can't see we're at the end of this thing, then I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, when we go out there and speak and deal with people, we're not, the Most High didn't place us here on earth as prophets to go on debates, to be on a debate circuit. Our job is to tell them whether they're here for a bear. Ezekiel, he wasn't a part of the debating team. That's pretty much a spectator sports. Debates are spectator sports. And you get the belt, you get strapped up. Yeah, I beat this guy, I beat that guy. So it's a complete waste of time to, let's say, deal with the Kemetic community. You couldn't pay me to deal with the Kemetic community at all. I have nothing to say to them. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to see them. I don't want to breathe the same air that they got to breathe. If I happen to see them, they recommend, hey, how you doing? And I don't want to talk. Now, if we do talk, I'm going to tell them, look, man, you an Israelite. If you don't get out of that Kemetic garbage, Yahweh Hashem is going to kill you. And they're going to laugh. They're going to joke. They're going to ask for a debate. But pretty much my attitude is, if I see one of them walking up the street, I'm going to avoid them. I'll go on the other side of the street. I'm going to hide behind a bus or something. I don't want to see them. I don't want to breathe the same air that they got to breathe, because the Most High is going to destroy them. All them Kemetic dudes, every last one of them. Sarnetta, Shaka Mos, what's the other one that looks like Gazoo? Y'all know what I'm talking about. That nigga, I have nothing to do with none of them, because you be around them guys, the Most High might decide to bring judgment on them and might hit them with a lightning strike, or bus roll up and smash this nigga, smash you too. I don't want to be nowhere around no. The only unbeliever you can be with is your woman and your children if they're underage. If your wife don't believe, you can be with her, but you can't be with your mama no more. You might help your mama, but you get in, help her, and get the fuck out. Because judgment might come on your mama. Judgment ain't going to come on your woman because she's with you. That's the insurance policy, is that she's with you. So for any of you Israelite groups like IUIC, Israel United in Confusion, they said you cannot, if you got a wife that's an unbeliever, you got to give her an ultimatum, and if she don't come clean, you got to cut her off, which causes her to commit adultery. That's what the Lord said. Yahweh Shai said. You put your woman away. The only way you can put your woman away is the fornication, and the word for fornication. The word for fornication is adultery. It means adultery when he said fornication. Other than that, whatever stupid shit she does, you got to work it out. It says, abstain from all appearance of evil. We say at GMS we got the 100% truth. I don't think so. And when I say that, there's certain guys that are not with the 100% truth, but they're part of GMS. Just because you're a member of GMS doesn't mean that you're the elect. When we go back to the beginning, to 2007, July of 2007, a bunch of people came in and a bunch of people left out. Guys that were diligent, guys that was out there every week, diligent, whatever reason. They left for their women, they got disenchanted, they got weak, they didn't come with the same spirit when they first came in. You know, they making excuses, I got to work on that day. You make sure you got a job. You know you can get a job where you don't got to work. And then if you got to work on a Saturday and Sunday, well, guess what? You got camps that go out on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Mondays. And nobody goes out. You go out by yourself. And this guy, you check his YouTube page, he might put a video up once every 6 months. Or he might hit a couple of videos. He might be good. 2-3 days he does 3 videos. Then for about 5 months he don't do video. They're not of the elect. They're not of the elect. And when other brothers see that you're not putting up videos, and the leadership saying you should put a leave years ago, you should be putting up videos every day because the end is approaching. We're in the home stretch. And we got to keep the laws to the best of our ability. If you got a smooth face, you not going to be in the camp. Unless you're suffering from alopecia, you just can't grow it, then that's understandable. If you got tattoos, you shouldn't be in the camp, but you didn't know, you did it before you came to the truth. You don't have the money to remove those tattoos. Now, in the case of the IUIC, I believe that there's men that have tattoos and women. They got a lot of money. They can set up a program where they can get them tattoos removed. Now, you think General Nate gonna spend all that money to do that shit? That's just an example. But if you shave I got a job, I'm a security guy, I gotta have a clean face. I said, okay, that's no problem, brother. But you can't be in the camp. You can come and stand on the outside of the camp. You can contribute, but you can't be in the camp. Nigga, you might not be able to ask any questions because we're going to look at you sideways. So a dude can't come into camp if he got a smooth face. Unless he's suffering from alopecia. You got hairstyles. You got niggas with beards and hairstyles and, look, you guys with the long ass braids. Now you can have braids because it's in the scriptures. Samson had braids. Solomon had braids, I believe, because it mentioned about his locks. But we ain't with that dreadlock shit. That's the way of the learn not the way of the heathen. You see, you go to IUIC, Israel United in Confusion, they got dudes with long ass hairdos. That's an old word from the 60s. They got the dreads, they got the braids, they got the long hair longer than women. Some of them niggas got extensions. Look, General Nate used to wear extensions because he was a Gadite. Now he's a Judite. He used to be a Gadite. He had the Gadite choker on, and he had the long hair, but they were extensions. Now, if you're saying no, I never had extensions, tell me that that's a bullshit to her. You're lying. I'll say, you know what? I'm sorry. I thought you had extensions, but I believe you did have extensions. I know Rahab, that nigga had extensions, because I asked him. I said, is that extension in your hair? Instead of him saying, all he had to do is say yes or no. That's all he had to do. I'm talking about Rahab. I said, brother, do you got extensions in your hair? And I said, and he said, instead of him saying, no, these are not extensions, or yes, they're extensions. That's all he had to say. You know what the nigga said to me? He said, look, he said, I got to have this for my job. I'm a CEO. And if you're not willing to pay me, you know, I'll quit my job and you pay me and I'll cut my extent. That was his response. And in my mind, I said, nigga. I said, where's that in the... And he was a CO correction officer in New York. Oh, he had to shave his face too. And I remember when he shaved his face, we used to call him Sweet Cheeks. If he's watching, you know, he'll remember. I mean, he was cool back in the day, you know. But he was the guy that when we got kicked out, they were closing up, they were going to say the prayers. And he said, nah, we ain't even going to say prayers. We ain't going to say prayers with these niggas. Talking about myself, and about, you know. So he basically just get him out. We ain't going to say prayers to him. So he turned into a nigga, but he fell off. I ran into where we were driving. I was gonna let this guy come into the lane, and I noticed, I didn't see him at first, then I noticed his face. He noticed me. He had a big smile on his face. And I looked like, you know, I wanted to kill the nigga. You know, I had this look, my teeth was grit. And then he's smiling. This nigga smiling. I want to, what the fuck you smiling at me for? Nigga over there smiling. Anyway, so he keeps smiling, and I got this look like I want to butt your head off. And then I waved the hand like, nigga, go on. And he went, and that was it. That's the last I seen him. But anyway, I straight up asked him, cause hey, back then in the One West, people were so-called, use the term politically correct. You don't want to step on nobody's toes. You know, there was a church demon in the school at that time, and then it became a whorehouse. And the leadership let that shit happen. That became a whorehouse, man. And that's when I stopped. I wasn't even going to the school. I was doing my own thing. I was doing my own thing, man. Yeah, I was up in Connecticut. I was doing this, and then these niggas tried to take Connecticut school from me. So there was a lot of wicked shit going on. And niggas could do, see, back then, you can walk into school with high-heel women's shoes on and nobody say nothing. You had women with short mini skirts with fringes on it, and nobody would say nothing. Nobody, the leadership wouldn't say nothing, the men wouldn't say nothing. They look at the women's legs. If I caught you, I said, look, sister, what the hell are you doing coming in here with this mini skirt on? Oh, this got fringes. I said, look, turn around and go home. Yeah, women off the street with poom shorts, hot pants. The story behind hot pants, James Brown, he did a song called Hot Pants. And that's when they changed the laws, because if you wore short pants like that, they would give you a ticket, or a cop would pull you over, you walking down the street, they give you a ticket and or arrest you. And they had took the laws off the books where you can wear hot pants. That's old school. Poom shorts, Daisy Dukes. And that's why you got women dressed like this, man. Which is completely out of order. Back, and when I was a kid, women had to wear dresses. You couldn't, oh, wait a minute, you couldn't even wear pants back. I remember when women couldn't wear pants. If you wore pants, they'd talk about you like a dog behind your back. They said, this bitch is a bull dagger. For your old school brothers. I remember women couldn't wear pants. They can only wear dresses that were long dresses. And they couldn't show their arms and nothing like that. You know how you have the arms? You know, you look at some of you brothers are like arms. Oh, she got some sexy arms. You know? So you couldn't show your arms. You couldn't show your cleavage. Couldn't show, your cleavage. And if you go further back, further back, further back. You go further back, and I can bring up pictures of Edomites in Coney Island, and the women had petticoats. You couldn't see their ankles, you couldn't see nothing, and they had bonnets on, and they were. That's when so-called Esau is more moral. This place is totally immoral, right? Hey, bottom line is this: everything's got to be in strict order. The 7 churches of Asia Minor was being put in strict order. Anything that they had that was not kosher, the Lord said, "Look, I'm gonna put." Matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? Well, I'll do that later. But I pulled up this, and I pulled up the word evil. Right? Is breaking the law evil? Is looking like you're breaking the law an appearance of evil? If a man got a wife, I'm cool with the brother. I come to the man's house. I'm always in this man's house, especially when he's working. That's an appearance of evil, man. So I don't know. Let me see. I may go to the. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and do this. See, if I get on IUIC concerning their hairstyle, was the long hair, long braids, high top fades, whatever. Because that's what's going on right now. You got a lot of Israelites and GMS. They got the high top fade, or they got the Jake. They grow beards now, and you know it's Jake, especially young Jake. But you know what they do? Right where the ear is, the sideburn, they shave that off. And then it kind of grows back in. So you got layers, you know? And you got men in IUI do that, and you got men in GMS that do that. And you got men in GMS that got high top fades. But now they might say, oh, well, I didn't use a razor. I just had the barber cut it short. Why you have the barber cut it short? You want a certain look? You want to look like you're the world? Because I remember when Jake didn't have high top fades. They had Caesars in the 60s. Then in the late 60s going into the 70s, they had full afros. Shaved the beard with a full ass afro. And then this is how the spirit works. I'm sorry, you had conks back there. You know, you put the lime in your hair and it burnt. It showed you that in the Malcolm X movie. And that's what niggas did, because all them, you go back to the 30s and the 40s, all them niggas had straight hair because they were loving the world. Sugar Ray Robinson, he had that. That was conk. That was conk that they put in your hair. Lie that they put in your hair. That's why it burnt. There was poison put in your hair to look closer than the fucking white man. Check out all them hip hop, them bebop groups and different singers and shit. Nat King Cole, black as he is, straight fucking hair. That was conk. Our people were fucked up back then. But they did that to be more accepted. I'm almost a white man. You got our women, the blonde. You got nigga women with straight up blonde hair. Black as night, straight up blonde hair. These bitches don't deal with a woman with the blonde hair or different colors here. These people are bugged out their fucking mind, man. But guess what? You went from from the Caesar, you had the conk, then you went from the conk, and then you you had the natural. I remember when it first came out, you had the dashikis, the afro pick with the black fist on it. And that's that consciousness shit that the white man gave you, that bullshit. And they gave it to you around about that time because that's when they knew that the spirit of Israel was coming through. So they had to block it with that Islamic stuff. And I'm a nation of NOI, Nation of Israel, Islam. I remember as a kid, 4, 5, 6 years old, and I was impressed. Oh, look at them guys. They all got the same suits and they're marching. Niggas like pageantry. So I'm going into this psychological shit while niggas get high top fucking fades. And you shouldn't be in GMS. Yeah, but I didn't put a razor. I just cut it. I had the barber use a certain scissor. You know, he put it on 2, so it wouldn't get. But guess what? People think that you got the. Some of y'all motherfuckers get the shit shaven, man. So you got to look. You look like the world, man. I told y'all not to be going to places. I get on brother last night. About going to the goddamn casino. Well, Tar said don't go to the club, but I can go to the goddamn casino. Hey, you know how much shit's going on, shootouts and crazy shit. Anytime you go to a so-called black function, guaranteed it's going. And I see on the news it was 3 guys got shot in the block party. I said that's nigga news. There ain't no white people don't go to block parties. So. Give not the appearance of evil, man. It was considered evil for the church of Laodicea to really be rich, because not like they were doing wickedness with it, but they were bragging about their riches, and they wasn't diligent as the other churches were. Because they had money. Oh, I'm doing good. Give me neither poverty or riches. Give me food convenient for me. Now you got some brothers that got more money than others. If you know a brother that's uptight and you got it like that, you don't give him your last dollar. You might have 25 G's in the bank or whatever. And the guy's gonna get kicked out. He's gonna get evicted. He needs 300. You hear about it. Don't worry, brother. Here's a 300. Let's say the next month come around, he does it. Give him 300 again. You got 25,000, 50,000 in the bank. Some brothers got money, others don't. But you should all show the same diligence. The church of Laodicea didn't show the same diligence because they were laying back because of that money. So, Revelation. A lot of you guys get in the comfort zone. I gotta go out there and speak, and I'll time it. Because the heads they get out there, like we got out there like a little after 4:30, and sometimes shit happens. We get out there maybe 4 o'clock, and I'm pissed the fuck off. And then you got some guys, I'll be noticing that they be coming at 4:05, 4:10. I know I'm supposed to be out there at 3 o'clock. I'm gonna take my time. If you got the opportunity to be out there as early as you can, you be out there as early as you can. You got guys in GMS that are waiting for somebody to tell them what to do. You might have been in this thing for 6 years. You see guys going off, whatever they do, you're not pull them to the side and tell them, look, nigga, you going off. You say, well, I'm cool with that, brother. I ain't gonna say nothing to him. I'm gonna let the leadership get on him. And the leadership might not. We don't watch it. We don't have a crystal ball, a urim and a thrum where we're watching every nigga. Let me watch each. There's 50 guys in this particular camp. Let me look at each and every brother. That's not our job. And you got to grow in this thing. If you don't grow in this thing, You brothers that been here from the beginning, you supposed to know just as much as the leadership know, and even more. We learn from our teachers the 7, and we know more than the 7. Why you think I watch all the video and many videos as I can of the veterans out there? Because they'll hit a scripture that they came across that I say, oh yeah, I hadn't pulled that scripture out in 15 years. I'm going to start using that again. Or they'll pull a precept out and they say, oh yeah, that's a good precept. Or they pull out an article. You know? Oh yeah, that's a good article. So let me see. I don't want to read the whole thing. So, okay, message to Ephesians, Ephesus. You know what? Message to Smyrna. Okay, Smyrna was a poor church. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. But you're going to be tested. We applied it to today. That happened back then. Some of you are going to be cast into prison, but the Most High going to have mercy on you. And that applies to us today. He that overcometh, he that endureth to the end, shall not be hurt of the what? The second death. What's the second death? The destruction. The fire. Okay, I know thy works and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is, and thou holdest fast. Ooh, I forgot about that. And thou holdest fast my name. Who's speaking here? The angel, and the angel is giving the message from Yahushua. So it's not talking about the angel's name, it's talking about Yahushua's name. Yahushua came to John on the Isle of Patmos, showed himself, Son of Man. But the message that he gave him was through the angel. So it was the Lord's message given to the angel. Take the little book, the angel said that. And has not denied my faith, even in those days wherein Antipas was my faithful martyr. So they put him to death. He died in the name of Yahushua, who was slain among you where Satan dwelleth. Now, you know what I should do? I'm going to come back to this. And I'm going to go into the commentator just to see what it says. But I have a few things. So he praised them, the works, the this. You had the martyr that died in the name of the Lord. I left in my name, so they kept the name. It said, but I have a few things against thee, because thou hast dared them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak. That goes back to Numbers 23. I believe it starts at Numbers 22, Numbers 23, Numbers 24, but it gets into it in Numbers 23 and Numbers 24. To cast a stumbling block, a curse, before the sons of Israel, to eat things sacrificed unto idols, and to commit fornication. That was happening back there too. Fornication is adultery. That was happening in the church of Corinth. So hast thou also them that hold the doctrine of the Nicolaitans. You don't have nothing to do with the Nicolaitans, which thing I hate. Repent. So they were doing a lot of good things. They had the faith, they called it their name, they was doing the works, but there was a few things that they were going off on. You got to be perfect. The Most High will not accept anything less than perfection. So you strive for perfection. Repent, repent, repent. Meaning back to impent, meaning to be penitent, meaning to be humble, righteous. Or else I will come unto thee quickly and will fight against thee with the sword of my mouth. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him overcome. Let me see. Giving him a white stone. A white stone means you're acquitted. You charges was brought up on you, and when you're acquitted, you get a white stone. That means you're not guilty of the crime. And then the stone, a new name. Now, what's that new name? The word new means to refreshed, which no man knoweth, saving he that receiveth. So, wait a minute now. So that means all Israelites going to have their own. Yahushua going to give them their own, the name, his name. This is my name to you. That's my name to them. So when they call on Yahushua, they're going to be calling on different names. It's talking about renew, refresh. I know that works at charity, this, that, and the other. And the last to be more than the first. Notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee, because thou sawest that woman Jezebel. Jezebel is a spirit. You know, you got guys that'll celebrate Christmas and this and that and the other. They'll help put up the Christmas tree, which calleth herself a prophetess. And you got a lot of these women now that are calling themselves prophets. Yahushua going to kill all you women that's sitting in the seat of a prophet. Among the black women, they into that heavy. And the Yahushua going to make them take that chip. Ain't none of them speaking on the chip. You should not have any authority on YouTube over men. If you do a video, let's say you do it in the name, this is for the woman. This is only for women. But anyway, well, that's in the scriptures. The older woman teach the younger woman. But you got women out there, got men on the panel. I'm talking about in the Christian church, and these soothsayers and, witches and shit. They half Christian and half witch, casting spells. Hey, how about Shem Yahushua going to have a field day with your woman? He going to burn them up. To teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication. And that's spiritual fornication, and it's also physical fornication. And to eat things sacrificed unto idols. So for every church he said something good about, but he said you got some problems. Now if you go to I want to go to the Church of Laodicea. I know thy works, that thou art neither hot or cold. They wasn't on fire with this thing. I would that thou wert cold or hot, or cold or hot, cold nor hot. So then, because you are lukewarm, you kind of, I got to go out and speak, and I got to do this, and the Passover's coming on. So then, because thou art lukewarm, and neither cold nor hot, either on fire for this thing or just leave the thing, I will spew thee out of thy mouth. So the Most High Yahushua will get rid of the people of the Laodicea, or get rid of the people that's not right in Laodicea. But he blamed the whole church because you got leadership. Because thou sayest, I am rich and increase in goods and have need of nothing, and knoweth not that thou art wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked. Now, General Nate said call us bums, but the law says there's at least 3 laws that I can pull up right quick that tell you if you see someone that's poor and you got it like that, you're supposed to come to their head. You're supposed to take them into your house. But then he'll say that, he'll call us bums, and then he'll tell people to keep the laws. He ain't keeping the laws. So the lukewarm men that have riches, they're really poor. They're really bums. They're spiritual bums. And the IUIC, Israel United in Confusion, they're arrogant and they're proud. You know, if you go around and they look down at you and they overspeak you and they got the mic and you just got one guy in the middle of at the camp. This guy is speaking with a mic. There's only one guy there. You don't need the mic. There's only one guy there. You can put the mic down. You got the guys yelling with the mic, and you can't even hear this guy, and they being cut off. So them brothers ain't fucking right. And watch what Yahweh Hashem Yahushua gonna do them. And not just for that, for the false gospel that they're teaching, man. They're not teaching 100% truth. You know all things, and you have an unction from the Holy One, and you know all things. And unction means you've been anointed, you've been chosen. And if you were chosen by the Most High, you would know all things. When I say all things, you know this. Anybody asks you a question concerning the scriptures, you got the answer. That's why you have to have more than one out of 2 or 3 witnesses. So if they ask a question, somebody in the back might say, "Oh, I got a precept for it," before you even think about it, of answering the guy. So now let's come back over here. And leaders of GMS camps, be leaders. You're not there to, I'm the leader. No, you're there to lead the people. And it's very simple, man. You know what Jake like to do? They like to make shit they like to take something simple and make it complicated. All you got to do, eat the roll, digest it, and then go out and teach the people. On Saturdays, Tuesdays, whatever day y'all go out. Certain brothers go out on Tuesdays, some on Thursdays and Saturdays, or whatever the case may be. You get together, you meet, you got the leader. Okay, we're going to meet at such and such a time. We're going to close up at so and so time. And we meet every week. You got a guy that he can't make it his job, this, that, or 1,000,001 excuses. And when he's out there, he don't want to hold posts. You want to go to the bathroom 3 or 4 times, and it's very rare that I go to the bathroom in the middle of the camp. I make sure I go to the bathroom. It's very rare. If I left the camp to go to the bathroom in the middle of the camp, that's rare. I'm not saying there's some brothers that got to go more than once. That's understandable. But I make sure, let me go ahead and do what I got to do now, so I don't leave the camp, the spirit of the camp. And then, like I said, there's nothing wrong with anybody that have to go. And then if I have to go, I'll go behind the car. Boom, do what I got to do and come back. So you got a guy that he ain't diligent, he ain't on fire. He got to go to the bathroom. He got to go talk to his girl. His girl is calling, he's on the phone. He's texting motherfuckers. Excuse my French. You got to look at this. You got to mark that man. You got to see, is this guy an elect? And you see he ain't the elect. Well, guess what? Get rid of the dude. Suspend him for 3 months. He come back with the same bullshit. Suspend him for 6 months. He come back with suspend him for a year, in the hopes that this nigga figure the shit out and don't come back at all. Sometimes you just got to kick a nigga to the curb. Look, brother, we've been watching you. You ain't right. You out the camp. Some guys get it where you out the camp, you can only be in the audience for 3 months, but you can't be in the camp, and then you get an attitude adjustment. There's levels to this thing, and you're supposed to reach for the highest level. It said, abstain from all appearances of evil. Brother, there ain't no high top fade. That's a no. The barber. First of all, I fell asleep in the barber chair. That's why I got this line up. And the high top fade thing, it's really not a high top fade. He just used two different razors, not razors. He used two different clippers. See, the first one he put on 3, and the second one he put on 2. So it appears to be. It appears to be. This is why I can't make a video getting on IUIC about them having high top fades and this, because you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna say, wait a minute, nigga, wait a minute, hypocrite. What about this? Second Thessalonians 5 verse 23, and the very power of peace sanctify you wholly, and I pray the Most High your whole spirit and soul and body be preserved blameless unto the coming of our Kyries Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. Let's look up the word blameless. So you guys need an attitude adjustment. You leadership need an attitude. You gotta, if a guy ain't right, you gotta say, this nigga been like this for years. I'm kicking him out the camp, or I'm gonna give him 6 months suspended. Don't be around the camp for 6 months, so that way he can not no 2 weeks. Oh, you suspended for 2 weeks, brother. 2 weeks he can do on his fucking head. And you've been in the system, right? They give you 2 weeks, you smiling. Yeah, shit, 2 weeks, shit, ain't shit. You ain't gonna get no attitude change if you give the guy, you suspended for a whole week, brother. And then you wonder why he don't got it. He doesn't get an attitude adjustment, cause you're too soft on him. You give that nigga 6 months, and you got to do videos every day. He gonna get an attitude adjustment, or you gonna get an attitude and not come back. When we had the school in Connecticut, I was suspending guys left and right. You had certain guys get suspended for 6 months, they come back 2 weeks later, get suspended for another 6 months. They come back again, a month later, they're good for about a month, they do something stupid, they get suspended for another 6 months. Then they'll come back and get an attitude adjustment, and they'll do the right thing. We ain't tolerating no bullshit, man. Hey, and in the NFL, AFC NFL, you got when they call you into the office, right? Speak to the coaches and so forth. You already know what's up. You had 2-3 bad seasons. You were great, you your first rookie year, you was this, you this is the man, and then your attitude ain't right, you got some dudes, Hall of Famers, that they just, man, they don't stop. You got to make them stop. So they one season he ain't this, he ain't that. The next season, 2 seasons, you lackluster, they gonna cut you, man. They will bring you into that room, and then when you go to your locker, your nameplate is taken out, and then they put a new nameplate in there. Then they'll quote scriptures at you too. Let's look up the word blameless, and I'm gonna get ready to close. Okay, let's listen to this word.
Strong's G 274, amemptos.
Oh, that's amentos. You know, certain niggas say that's the Most High. The Most High's name is a Mentos. You know them two niggas. Okay, blameless, so that there is no cause for censure. So for no, there's to be blameless, so there's no cause for being rebuked. Second Thessalonians 2 verse 10, ye are witnesses, and the Most High also, who holily and justly and unblameably we behave ourselves. Behave is the attitude adjustment among you that believe. First Thessalonians 5 verse 23, and the very power of peace sanctify you, and I pray the Most High, your whole spirit and your soul and your body be preserved blameless unto the coming of Kairis Yahushai Hamashiach. You know, you come in on fire, first 5 years, then year number 6 and on, you lukewarm, and the fire ain't there no more. You can lose your life. Let me look at the this is the root. Right. Ooh, faultless, unblameable, blameless. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom, on to the next shalom. And y'all need to get an attitude adjustment. This gospel is very simple. Eat this roll and go out and teach the house of Israel. That's it. You don't need gimmicks. You don't need to march down the street. This is all you do. Shalom.